Hello everyone, going second finally, even though I chose the paper. Just like in Yu-Gi-Oh! Even the meta game is going to lose occasionally, so even though paper is very meta right now because it won 3 times in a row, not counting a bunch of other times I hadn't recorded, it lost, so that's okay. Going second for the first time, playing a Gravekeeper deck. Okay, Gravekeepers are... what did he take? Mirror Force? Gravekeepers have a decent matchup against these guys. I do rely on a couple of cards that use grave stuff, but not that many, especially because I do have ways to remove Necro Valley. And I could go with the Morphin Jar at this point would be a bad idea, simply because my opponent already played most of their hand. But I drew the Lynx, and especially if they don't go for the attack right now, I am going to be able to stall out for quite a while and then get some draw power going. Again, like I always like to say when I draw Lynx, it is a dirty card, it's great draw power. If you have enough back row to protect it, you will be set up for days on end. So let's see what my opponent's set though. Sometimes they'll set a Recruiter, in which case I don't care. The better set that they have is Gravekeeper Spy, and they'll probably go into a Descendant, which then they would try to pop some stuff. But I have a Fiendish Chain to take care of that. Well, isn't this interesting? Let's see, does this have to target a face-up card? Oh, it has to be face-up, darn. I was hoping that they could flip this to attack for me. I'm actually gonna go for a Mirror Force on this one. I do want to protect it. I wish they had summon more, but the Mirror Force will have to do. And I was at a slight advantage from going first. They went for Mirror Force, which is usually a safe card, but against a deck like this, I don't draw that often, so it's not actually going to be helpful to them. I mean, I don't attack that often, especially not that early on. Unless they drew a Torrential or something, then this is going to start giving me some draw power. Looking like he actually might have. A lot of people won't do it, but if you have a Torrential and your opponent uses Lynx and you can't instantly get rid of it, do it. Use the Torrential. This is an incredibly good draw card. You would rather use a power card to go 1-for-1 than the alternative of not using your power card and watching your opponent go something like a +3 off of one card. I guess technically it would be +4 because this card doesn't actually use itself. It just sits on the field, doesn't go to the grave or anything. Anyways, let's see what my opponent's using. I was able to set my Dandelion, so whenever you have a Dandelion face down, unless it gets banished, which is very rare, even when your opponent goes for a push or something, that's cool. Targeting the Wild Tornado. I'm going to be able to destroy their Necro Valley right now, and when you consider that they wasted an MST to lose their own Necro Valley, that's a really big hit. Even aside from just going -1, they also lost a very important card to the deck. This is kind of like a floodgate when I'm drawing my cards that target in the grave, which is Crane and Duplicity. And unlucky them, this face down, I'm not sure what it could be. Even a Recruiter right now would be... they should be trying to attack over it, but I guess not doing that. So I'm going to go ahead... ooh, actually, I do the Safe Zone. I could do the even dirtier play and put a Safe Zone on a Lynx, and I end up having to get rid of it myself in order to not deck out. See, so double Karaz and an Absorb Jar. I'm going to go for the Karaz. I have double monsters, including a Morphin Jar, just in case I really need to draw into something else. I still have a Dandelion. I'm going to set the Wild Tornado in Safe Zone, and I'm going to attempt to go for Safe Zone over Lynx. Now, I know he still has a Mirror Force, so I can't attack yet. I would like... oh... I'm trying to think, what am I going to do against the Mirror Force? I could go into the Mech Equip card, and I could just bait out the Mirror Force, and he won't be able to destroy me. I could use Karaz to destroy it, because I think it's this one. It could be this, but it's probably that one. Or I could just push through it with cards that they don't like being destroyed. Oh, you know what? I could also go for the Full Armor Black Ray Lancer, because a Mirror Force won't be able to destroy it one time, and then I'll be able to pop his other back row. That would not be a bad option. Not even having to go with the Safe Zone. That's going to be an option too. So this is still in the grave. I'm going to be using Karaz eventually, but not yet, because I don't have any good targets for it. I want him to have a face-up card, and then I will be targeting Wild Tornado. I'm going to set the other links, not because I want to draw cards, but because I want to be able to tribute it when it stops being useful, which is about at this point, because I don't need any more draw cards. I don't want to draw any more cards. It becomes useless in that sense, so if I can just tribute it and use it in that way, and it actually gives it use and I get to tribute over something I didn't need anyways, and that's great. So I'm going to go ahead and try to do that. But it also depends on what my opponent's still going to do, but as you can see, they left Warren Lynx on the field, which is a huge mistake if they were able to stop it. And now I am just rolling in the cards compared to them. I would like to be drawing into some spells and traps, though. There we go. I drew a lot of monsters really early. There's another monster. I'm not going to be opposed to discarding this one, though. I need a level 3 in my grave. I could also discard Lynx because I really don't need it. And I did draw another Fiendish Chain, though. That's great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. So I will have to discard 2 cards during the end phase. I don't really want to set any of these. Morphing Jar number 2 wouldn't help. I'm just going to get rid of... Yeah, I'm going to end and discard a Lynx and an Absorb Jar because I don't need them and I want one in the grave. I'm actually waiting for him to play another Necro Valley. I would like to get rid of that. Throwing into another Marshmallow, though. There's like all of my monsters. Which, I haven't had to use my back row though, so that's okay. If I had to use these on his monsters, this would kind of suck because then all I would be doing is drawing into more monsters, and that wouldn't always help. Although it can, especially with Morphing Jar number 2 and Marshmallow, I still wouldn't like it. Let's see if he goes for the Commandant so we can get another Necro Valley out. But okay, yeah, that looks like what he's going to be doing. I seriously hope he doesn't have a... what's it called? A Royal Tribute? Yeah, I hope he doesn't have a Royal Tribute. Did they ban that? Am I going... I don't remember the ban list. I always get confused with the OCG one. I think they might have banned that or limited it or something. Whatever. Either way, I hope he doesn't have it because he would be going 1 for 6. Then again, I have Lynx out. I could just draw all of it back. Looks like he's not going to. Okay, so he's... yeah, I think that card's gone. I have to double check that. I don't really remember, though. So he's going to be summoning... I don't know, something. But he gave me the target for Karaz that I need now. So... I have a... I'm not sure if I want Lynx's draw effect anymore. I don't need it, that's for sure. I might flip up the other one and then tribute Dandelion. Yeah, I don't want its effect anymore. I'll just take the damage. I've already drawn way too many cards, or I've drawn as many cards as I want to draw. If I draw any more, it's just going to become wasteful. I'll end up having to discard cards. He's probably kind of surprised, because when a person has 4 back row and a Lynx, their chances are they'll have something to protect it, but I chose not to, so that could be a very confusing move on my part. But again, it's because I don't need or want to draw any more cards. There's no reason for it. Then, I'll probably be... I have a level 3 in my grave, so I'm gonna be... I'm guessing that this face down is a Recruiter. If it was anything else, he would have used it. Okay, cool, so... yeah, I'm gonna Karaz over Worm Lynx. Then I'm gonna target Dark Coffin and Wild Tornado. This will allow me to target both of these. He'll have to make the difficult decision of destroying a monster of his, which will confirm that this is a Recruiter. And he will also be losing Necro Valley. Unless he has a warning face down, which, could be worse. So yeah, let's use Monarch's effect, destroy Tornado and Dark Coffin. On top of it, this is even more draw power. This is why I didn't need to be drawing any more of Lynx especially. Let's see if he has anything. He needs a Solemn Warning right now. Nothing else would really help. Banish it, I don't care. Like with the Bottomless, if he evacs it, that would be good for me. He needs to negate the effect. Oh, okay, or we could do that. I do, oh shoot. If he negates this, do I want the effect? I kind of wish I had targeted Necro Valley now. Yeah, I'm gonna negate it. I have other Karaz. I have other Wild Tornadoes. So I'm still gonna draw 2 off of this. Yeah, there's the Wild Tornado. Now let's see what he chooses to do. This might not be a Recruiter, in which case he won't want to destroy it, but he also won't want to discard a card. Especially because it's random. Okay, he's destroying this. What could this possibly be? I'm actually kind of curious. So yeah, I can't use Cranker right now though. That's kind of sad. I would like to. Not having to use a single Fiendish Chain yet. That's right. That was already my summon for the turn. So I'm gonna set a Bottomless, and I'm gonna set a Wild Tornado. I'm gonna end up using these regardless eventually anyways. So I don't care if I fill up my back row. And this Gravekeeper player is kind of keeping me from being able to do damage. Like I said, this is a floodgate against Crane, but once I get it, the floods will be unleashed and I get to summon the Crane and start going crazy. But in the meantime, I guess Gravekeepers in general, they're good at being defensive themselves. They have Recruiters, they have this to stall a lot of cards, they have Spies and stuff with high defense. Oh, it was a guard. There's no good oh, he's gonna send this back to my hand. That was a very poor choice. I'm not gonna negate it. I want this back in my hand. And I'm not sure why he did that. I see why he was waiting to flip it now. Maybe he was waiting for a good target, and I've never given him any. Although I gave him the links, but I guess that would just kind of... yeah, that wouldn't have helped. Let's see, he's going for... Assailant. Yeah, he can go for Assailant. I'm going to save Bottomless or something more threatening. This doesn't really... eh. It could potentially do damage against my tokens, but... I don't care. I still have so many back row to stop it, like double Fiendish Chain. So... let's see what he decides to do. I think he's thinking if he wants to go into an XYZ right now, which probably wouldn't be a good idea, although he has no way of knowing that. This is a really confusing deck for people to play against because nothing about it has... I'm sure it's been done before. Going for a Gaga Cowboy? Yeah, I'm definitely not going to hit that. I don't know why he summoned an attack especially. Yeah, I'll let him hit the Dandy, that's fine. But like I was saying, this is a very out of the ordinary deck. People have no idea what to expect, they have no idea how to counter it, and it will just overall confuse them, so they'll make weird plays like this. They'll probably be wrestling around in their heads so much that a bad idea just kind of slips through every now and then. Like, there's no reason to summon this. Especially not an attack. Even he should have at least just put it in defense and done some damage, I suppose. Finally starting to draw into more of my spells and traps because I've already gone through so many of my monsters. So, what do I want to hit with this? Tornado. Does he use his Mirror Force? No, he actually bluffed me out. I thought the Mirror Force was right there. This is going to be the Mirror Force. I'm not even sure if I want to get rid of that, though. But I'm definitely going to... okay, here's what I'm going to do. I do want to get rid of this. It has a nice amount of attack, or a nice amount of defense. So... I'm going to use Karaz's effect. I'm going to target the Necro Valley and the Wild Tornado. So he's going to be able to draw a card, but now he's going to be down to a single Necro Valley left. Then Wild Tornado will send this to the grave for me. Yeah, we both draw a card. And there's a Pot of Duplicity, so especially now, he really needs another Necro Valley. I think that was 2. Yeah, he'll probably have a third. I don't think I've ever seen a Gravekeeper deck not running 3. Although way back in the day, not back in the day, how many formats ago? It was like 5 formats ago I was running a Gravekeeper deck myself. I thought I clicked set on that. I couldn't have sworn I did. Wasting this time. But when I was running a Gravekeeper deck, I actually only ran 2 Necro Valleys and I sided the third. So I was probably one of the weird ones that only used 2. Everyone else uses 3. I'm expecting him to play his other one. And yeah, there it is. So he's going to go for his final Necro Valley, which I'm a little surprised. It hasn't done anything against me. Like, there's never been a situation where, oh no, I need to play one of my grave cards. And I'm just going to end up drawing into another Karaz. Is that my second or first? Because I know he sent it back to my hand. I think that's only my first Karaz. Yeah, I'm just going to be able to draw another one, and then he'll lose all of his Necro Valleys. Okay, in this case, I'm going to go ahead and banish Breaker. I don't have any good targets right now except for Safe Zone. So I want to get rid of this right now before he can hit something like a Fiendish Chain. I want to save Laboku. And there's nothing else that a Gravekeeper can really summon that's extraordinary or anything. Why is he using this right now? Well, yeah, you can go ahead and do that. Yeah, he just wants, I guess he just wants to do damage with Assailant. That's understandable. He should probably also be considering getting over a Karaz. If he tries to attack into Karaz, I'm going to Safe Zone on it. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So now, even though this will be in defense, he won't be able to get over it, and I'll be able to attack him next turn because his Mirror Force is useless at this point. Although, I don't like the threat of an Assailant versus a Fluff token. I don't like leaving this on the field and giving him any chance to attack over it, but you do what you gotta do. I'm waiting for a Malefic. Oh, okay, there it is. Yeah, that's fine. Going for a Cyber End. I was actually expecting a Stardust. It's kind of sad that Gravekeepers have become this there's just one build that everyone uses Malefic, everyone uses the same Gravekeepers. It's kind of boring in my opinion. Now, what do I want to do though? I could use a Morphing Jar to get over both of these, or at least that. I don't care if I take 1600, I could also Fiendish Chain it, but for now I just need to get over an Assailant. No, I don't even really need to because this is stopping it from attacking, but I'm going to anyways in case for when I get rid of this, because eventually I'm going to have to. Yeah, he's wondering, should I use the Mirror Force? No, that's a misplay. He shouldn't be using the Mirror Force. I think he forgot that I had Safe Zone on there. Okay, so I don't have to get rid of that myself now. That's nice. And I'm actually gonna end up XYZing with the Marshmallow. See, do I have anything on my extra deck I can use to remove this? I have Zen Mains, that would work. No, I don't have a whole lot that can pop this. It's just gonna be that Zen Mains, that's gonna be a hefty amount of damage. I don't want to do that. Okay, so I'll probably actually summon the Morphing Jar. I'm just gonna sync with it because, or XYZ with it because it's Gravekeepers don't spam very hard. They're just kind of like slow, constantly putting out decent monsters. Really? He's just gonna attack the token? Oh, okay. I'm not even gonna have to use a back row on this. I didn't need the token for anything. Although I would like to draw into another Karaz at this point because if I can just hit the final Necro Valley, it would get rid of both of these at once, and he would draw a card, but he would be out of fields. And considering that this is the first Malefic he's played, he'll be looking at a lot more dead draws. I'm gonna assume that he has at least 2 of each Malefic. I'm guessing that he's running a Malefic Stardust also because of the size of his extra deck. Yeah, especially drawing another Morphing Jar. Jeez, my deck is kind of getting low, so I do need to start putting some pressure on this guy. I'm putting pressure on them. I don't like that being a habit. I just assume that it's a guy. It's just kind of become a mannerism for a lot of people. So I'll go ahead and take the damage. I have life points to spare. I have back row to protect me from taking more damage. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Now I'm going to hit the field card. Yeah. I'll be detaching the Marshmallow. And then during the end phase, they have to say goodbye to the Necro Valley. I should have like a Ajar. Every time I say it when I didn't mean to, I'll put a quarter in or something. Now let's see what they can come back with. Out of field spells, so the Malefics are now completely useless dead draws. If they're running 3 of each, that would be really, really nice for me, because that would be the maximum amount of dead draws possible at this point. And also, their Gravekeeper monsters are going to be stuck being really small. Although, sadly for me, I can't attack directly with my Light Monarch because I was forced to put a safe zone onto it, which I don't regret. That was a nice play. It really helped stall out. And yeah, I don't think my opponent has anything big at the moment, otherwise I would have opened up with it without having to think very hard. But aside from the weird plays that they've made, I don't even want to call them misplays because, like I said, this deck is so weird. It's really hard to decide, well, what the heck should I do against it? So people end up making weird plays against it. And here we go. Now that now that Necro Valley is gone, I can start playing my Cranes and Pot of Duplicity, and like I said, it's kind of like a floodgate opening now because I've been sitting on these for so long that I'm just going to be able to pop them out every single turn. Or for 3 turns at least, but I'll be drawing into others. And this actually isn't going to help at all because this is going to attack over guard, which I wasn't going to be able to direct with anyways, so that was kind of it was a waste. But not much else they could have done. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Mech Equip. I have a beater that's going to be staying on the field for quite a while now unless they get an MST. So I'm gonna like having some stall power to keep my beaters on the field just in case. I'm not expecting any hand traps like a Gorz or a Trag. That would be amazing at this point. Actually a really horrible card to have in that deck. And there's no reason for me to fill up the final spell and trap slot, so I'm not going to be setting the Mirror Force. I still have double Fiendish Chain. I was expecting to have to use this on a Descendant or something really early on, or even a Spy. Looks like my opponent didn't have anything though. I would say that they're, again, not necessarily misplays, but their weird plays kind of cost them the duel. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please comment, rate, subscribe, and stay brutal.